Everything is so amazing. What's wrong with my voice? Anyways, that's why, like, I don't know, I feel like the more expansive your mind and your consciousness and your awareness is, the calmer you become. Because your level of understanding, based on the level of balance and maturity you've acquired within yourself, has reached like this apex point where like you can't really be mad at anyone or anything, because you know that they're trying their best based on the level of consciousness that they're at. You know, it's kind of like you can't get mad at a child for not knowing how to walk, and you can't get mad at a child for touching the stove because it hasn't garnered enough experiences and it needs to do it in order to like realize like, oh, that's not good, for that doesn't feel good, I shouldn't do that anymore. I don't know. Am I making sense, you guys? Am I truly getting through? Is the message actually being delivered? I don't know. Yeah. um Maybe think about it. That's why, like, enlightened people, I don't think they really say much, because they know that it doesn't matter what they say. Because if the person they're speaking to hasn't reached a level of comprehension that they're at, because they're not ready to reach that level of comprehension, it doesn't matter. Like how much they speak, how much they talk, how much they express, it won't get through, because that person doesn't have the ability or hasn't acquired the ability yet to access a level of understanding. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it would fall upon deaf ears, or you'd be throwing pearls to the swine, and it just doesn't make sense to overexert energy in order to make this person understand something that they're not ready to understand yet. And so that's why, like, I think a lot of enlightened people just kind of hide themselves away, or they just don't say much to people, because it's like they know it's that person's level of comprehension just isn't there yet. So it would be a waste of energy to even try, you know? And then they realize, oh, okay, this person is at this particular level of consciousness and they're still growing through their life experiences. And I just have to let them do that, you know? Um, if I were to think about like a mature INFJ versus a less mature INFJ, I think a less mature INFJ definitely is not understanding how their operating system functions. And so they are lost in confusion, and they battle themselves, and they don't have access to their intuition as clearly as a more mature INFJ would. And also, their mind is still gathering and piecing together data. So they're in a state of confusion versus, like, oh, I understand why things are. You know what I mean? And so they have a tendency to like push against life instead of move through life, you know? And then they also have like harsh judgments. And, you know, I've come to the conclusion that judgments, um, belief systems, opinions, conclusions, theories, hypothesis, they're all they all contain truth, but it's fragmented truth. But I think the more you go through life and you accumulate all these fragments, and then you're able to piece them together in such a way that you realize that everybody's perspective, everybody's opinion, everybody's conclusion, everybody's hypothesis or theory is basically a fragment of truth, or it's a half truth. But if you put them all together, they basically make up a universal truth. And that's why, like, nobody is right or wrong. They're all absolutely correct based off of what they're able to perceive at that time. And I feel like most people, they avoid pain and they avoid doing the inner work because it's uncomfortable. But the more work you do, the more keys you acquire to access more divine knowledge and perception. Does that make sense? Oh my goodness, I don't even know if I'm making sense. So, I don't know. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. That's all I have to say about that. Um, but I wanted to make a video on it because maybe people can relate to it. I don't know what I'm saying. That's the thing. I don't know what I'm saying. You know, I don't proclaim to know everything or anything. I just kind of like allow life to pass by because it's a movie, a moving movie that I can observe. And I don't take things so seriously anymore because it really isn't that serious. You get fixated on a moment, but then if you enter the present moment, that moment doesn't exist anymore. So what's the purpose of holding on to it? I don't know what I'm saying, but I do. Oh my goodness. Anyways, this freaking video is probably ridiculous, but I'm gonna post it anyway. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. And just know that you are in a constant state of moving, and you can either be moving forward or moving backward or moving in place. It's all movement though, it's all change, right? And for me personally, I am tired of riding the merry-go-round of recycling experiences. And so I've decided to kind of like get off and just kind of like watch everything. You know? Anyways, blessings to one and all. Amen.